You guys look friendly. Are you friendly? Oh no, they're not friendly. You didn't even notice. Come on. Oh, that didn't hold? Why didn't it hold? Oh, that's unusual. Haha.
Keep close. There are worse things than marauders in these lower tunnels.
Egads.
They have lurked these walls for decades, raised along with the city years ago.
Arc circlet.
There. That is the artifact you seek. The circlet of Arcades. By taking it, Arcades' grave becomes an empty tomb. Let us depart. Anokatos has had his fun with me, and there is nothing left to plunder.
Why are you so angry?
It is nothing I can share with you, Beckoned. It is not worth your time.
Tell me.
I always thought that were I to come to Arcades' crypt, it would be because of the work of gods alone. And here I am, by the will of none but Anokatos, flesh and blood. I cannot! I will not! Even after all these years, he has not forgotten his brand of viciousness. He knows I must obey his command. I apologize for my outbursts. However, it can be hard to let convictions go. But we must. We must.
What now?
Take the circlet back to Anokatos. He is most likely waiting for you.
Yeah, this would be weird if he wasn't. He sent me on a mission and also never goes anywhere.
Very well.
Those two things mix in a certain way. Are all of these jumping spots supposed to be a shortcut back? Because they exist for some reason. That was a pretty brief process getting in here to get that, but then I gotta remember, like, it is just a crypt. Like, their crypt. Be weird if it was hard to access, I guess. Hello, guys. Alright, we are in a weird, bizarre void, though. What the fuck is happening in this place? You know, usually crypts are, like, insulated a bit by being underground and stuff. This is like an open-air crypt? That's a weird strategy. Like, look at that. All those open mountains, like, I didn't have to walk far to get there. Like, it was 5 feet behind the coffin, or sarcophagus. There was, just an abyss of open air and mountains and clouds. Huh. That's pretty unusual. A hidden object. So the suggestion seems to be that these have been here all throughout the whole game, but I didn't have that one skill, so I couldn't find them. That's interesting. It'd be an interesting amount of, like, effort to put in, considering the dungeons themselves are, like, really consistently don't have a lot going on. You'd be like, oh, there's also been weird secret paths everywhere? Why? Where would I go? You just broke your own egg, you fool. Oh, there goes the other egg. I guess you can die now. Let's see. Yep. I seem to have an unusual case of doesn't know where I am right now. Who the fuck are you?
Hold! Hold! What are you? You are... Oh, not! You're my size! My size! This can't be! Ah, I knew I shouldn't have eaten that lichen earlier. Cave slime never agrees with me.
Are you the guy that wrote the journal? Who are you?
What? You mean you walk these halls and know nothing of their lord and holder? I am the king of this undersewer, protector of this whole expanse.
What's an Almain doing here?
Divine providence. Once I I wandered the lands below, living in caverns, in a base attempt for subsistence. But then the earth was left below me, and I was raised into a city in the sky.
I didn't realize, my mistake.
Your mistake. If that's supposed to be groveling, then you need to brush up on your etiquette. But I suppose I can allow such insolence to be humored for this one time. I haven't had much in the way of company out here. Oh, you're welcome to some of the cave slime, if you're hungry. There's plenty for everyone. By my leave, I'm sure. Back again, I see. Well, I don't suppose I have anything better to do at the moment. Seems that Jeff has run away with all the scones again. I'll wager we'll have nothing but crumbs to sup on when he returns.
The Colossi?
Living giants! They stay away from me, and it's for the best. Can't let them know I'm here.
Strange man.
I hold dominion over all you see here. I have been left to my devices, to rule as I see fit. I may seem harsh, but all my subjects will tell you I am fair.
The undersewers.
I've lived in these tunnels for years. There are plenty of hazards, but they only pose problems for strangers.
Who's Jeff?
The rascally imp is the closest thing one can find to a footman in these wilds. Of course, he's just as like to rob me as serve me. I'd wager he thinks he has the best of me. But I'm no fool! Press him back into my service, will you?
Oh, that rascally imp. What do you need?
Seems my footman, Jeff, has scurried off without permission and taken up quarters elsewhere in the sewers. He should be made to see the error in his judgment, but I will not presume to ask for help in this.
I'll take care of it.
Quite right you will. Jeff's around here somewhere. The little scamp has no stomach for the realms upstairs. Just give him this. It's a charter of fealty he signed the day he joined my service. But if you do so, do it on your own time. I make no pretensions at ordering you around. Speak to me about Jeff when you've dealt with him. Be gone!
Is that the contract? Lick slimy rock.
Enjoy it! Every other week, it tastes like buttermilk. Enjoy it! Every other week, it tastes like buttermilk.
Y'all are having some fun with this guy, aren't you? Well, now I've got to try opening it. It happened on a very hard. It opened all the way on one go. Hair presumptive, hair apparent, bottle of hair, fine satchel of rocks. The fabric of this satchel is rich and lush in texture. The rocks inside are just ordinary rocks. Signet shield. Etched into the shield is the following phrase: for glory above and glory below, etc., and may the gods guard us well. The etc., is written on it, apparently. And it looks just like a frying pan. Hair presumptive. The strange doll largely seems to be ignored. Hair apparent. This strange doll is worn as if someone has lavished it with much attention. Bottle of hair. On close inspection, this bottle seems to be filled with hair. Thank you. What is... okay. Let's go find Jeff, I guess. Oops. Okay. Is it not a real quest? I'll check over here. Where's Jeff? I can't quite tell if this is a real quest or not. Or if I can actually, like, it seems to be, like, it could be an unmarked quest. For some reason. I don't know why they would do an unmarked quest. But I'm curious about the little dude Jeff that ran off with all the scones. But he also seems to be hallucinating, so maybe there was never a Jeff. There's an arrow over here. That's an NPC. That's probably him. He's real. Maybe I had to lick the stone to see him, though. God, you're a little nightmare, aren't you? Look at you go. Approach Jeff. You have to do that one last. It fills up fast. Hey, little buddy. Alright, so Jeff's vaguely... I think this is the guy whose journals I was reading at the beginning of the game, because he talked about licking moss too. That's all I'm going off of, really. There seems to be the missing servant that the strange man in the undersewers spoke of. Give him the oath? I could have read it, maybe. That was weird. Little moment of turning around. This is some kind of secret, I guess, right? That does it, like... Oh no, Jeff! Ew. He's just eating gore now.
Well, persistent little gnat, aren't you?
Whoa.
I haven't had this many run-ins with another since Renival absconded with my archives.
Jeff?
Well, good to know Jeff got the message. Thank you for your help.
What happens now? What's happened now?
Renival is a damned usurper, and I don't care what you've heard about him. This latest theft is just another attempt to discredit my rule. But this is too far. The key to my archives is the lowest blow.
What did he take?
Only the key to my archives. Only the means to access the greatest treasures in my realm. Without them, my most precious of heirlooms are forever locked in a wooden hell. And for what? His rampant self-satisfaction?
I'm on the case.
Whatever you wish. I am not inclined to ask for any favors. If this is your wish, then pursue it by your own will, not mine. That said, Renival is home in the darkest corners of my domain. Scampering coward, I'll wager you'd make short work of him. Be gone!
The darkest corners. Is he a bottle of hair? Is he the... Oh. There's a red arrow on the map that I'm a little curious about. Can I get, like, inside this wall? Or is that just upstairs? Because it also says there's an enemy, like, on top of them. And he's probably upstairs. Well, this went in a direction, didn't it, today? I'm afraid to leave. Because I don't want to, like, lose track of this. But... yeah, like, there's no quest. Now. Which would just kind of make the whole thing easier to track. Let's see. I don't want to go down a point of no return drop, because what if I gotta come all the way back? It could take so long. I think I'm gonna have to try. I spotted there's like a ladder on the map. Specifically up here, which I think might let me loop around in circles to get back up. I'm hoping. Renethal. I'm not even stealthing. I just walk right up to dudes and they don't notice me. This seems like it shouldn't work that way. It especially seems it shouldn't work that way when I explode all of their friends right next to them and they're just like, huh, ooh. Renevel! Fuck you, Renevel. You rat. Literal rat. Alright. Yeah, I was hoping that ladder would let me go back around. And so maybe it will if I go back that way. The number of point of no return drops make me nervous otherwise. Because I'm hoping to return. Bye. Oh god, there's more. Or the same ones teleporting? Up, but up. How many strange things like this do they have hiding behind secret doors? It's like a whole strange thing hidden behind that mechanic. I am kind of like interested in the fact that it seems to give you some little bits of story content and stuff. Because when I first unlocked this, when I first went through that door, being like, oh yeah, I have this hidden door ability now. My first thought was like, do I care that much though? If it's just gonna give me like more enemies and more loot that I don't want that badly. And then immediately that bluff is called, or not bluff, but immediately this happens. I'm like, oh, it's not what I expected this to work out at all. It's a fucking payoff of like those journals from earlier, I'm sure.
What's this?
What bizarre timing, because I just got the ability to see hidden doors like this level.
Well, I can say that I'm happy to have a bit of entertainment after all. Jeff can be such a bore, but I don't suppose you have anything to read, do you? A good, honest tome?
Renevel?
You have it then? And Renevel has finally been brought to pay for his crimes? I thought I would toast this day, but it only tastes bitter. Have you ever had an enemy that was as close a friend? I remember the days when he and I were as brothers. But no more. Such is folly.
Sir, you've been having a hard time. I can find your book.
Not just any old tome. I seek something from a far-off land. Something hilarious or depressing. Something foreign. I've no interest in the tomes of these giants.
Book?
Found something for me then? How? Wait a moment. I know the words in this book. It's all coming back to me now. I wrote them. This is my writing. After all this time, I've finally remembered. I'm Denric, servant of Mitharu. Oh, it has been so long.
Well, Denric.
Yes, I was Denric once. An Almain monk sent to the southern lands to bring the word of Mitharu. But no longer. I failed my mission, and in my failure, I forgot myself. All is well, for Denric was but a humble monk, while here, I am a king! Oh, what fanciful nonsense you'd have me believe. Are you well? Have you been hitting the stone again? You must not do that. First, because it is sovereign property. But furthermore, because Jeff needs to wear his cape when I sit down. By my leave, I'm sure.
Well, that got weirdly sad. So he is the guy whose journal we read at the beginning, and he done lost his mind, apparently. And I found his journals and gave them to him, so I was right about that part. And he remembered briefly who he was, only to be like, well, that's sad. I don't want to be that guy. So he went right back to being like, nope, I am a king. Fuck you. I'm not going to engage with any of the facts you just gave me. I'm going to substitute that reality with my own, where I am the emperor of this just really shitty place, where there's like one guy here who maybe listens to me, or maybe he just likes to eat meat, and there just happens to be meat around here. I appreciated the line, "Are you hitting the rock again?" as a filling in of hitting the bottle. It's just funny. Like, oh, it's because he got the hallucinogenic rock, and he's there. Look at him go. He's gonna be a bummer. We're gonna leave forever now, and we're gonna forget we ever found him. But as a setup and a payoff, that was interesting to encounter. More of that, please. He even has his own personality, and like there's a tragicness to him, and there's just like some interesting details to his existence. Definitely not what I expected. I definitely expected this to happen more often. Oh look, in the giant spaghetti hallway that has no branches, a wall opened and there's a chest. Ooh. Anyway, back to your stuff. That's what I figured this ability was. So, and immediately after that, it pretty much happened. I imagine that's most of the game is that, not this. That'd be remarkable if this happened on a regular basis. Just bizarre, hidden, non-quest quests. Unless I missed something, it really seemed like it was not on my quest log. And that was old. Let's get our aces out of here. Back through there. Is it just me or... Maybe it's an indoor thing. I swear my camera didn't used to be this close to me. I am in the right area still, right? Yeah. You just have to run across town for a while. Making sure I'm not like somehow in like the wrong entire chunk of map. And have some big trip ahead of me. See ya, cool doors. So is it like drafty up here? It's already an open air castle, but it's also in the sky. The fires being lit at all is impressive, honestly.
You bear the circlet of Arcase. Then the wreath is almost complete. The foundation is gold with runes of prayer, as I said. Now, it must be woven with blood and toil. The colossi furnish the foundation and nature furnishes the trappings. The laurels of the wreath are not crafted, but earned. We seek Teryx veins. Once they are ours, once the wreath is complete, the ritual of atonement can begin.
We're making this from a Teryx?
I take it you have encountered a Teryx before. Likely the mongrel, carrion-eating scavengers that plague us. They are a common foe. We seek the veins of the Alpha Teryx. They are fierce and proud, all that is wild and savage in nature. To prove to the gods the righteousness of our faith, then we must conquer a mighty foe. They will serve.
Where are we going?
The gods sent you to bear witness to our atonement. To do that, we must complete the Wreath of Absolution. The wreath is made from the large feathers, the veins of the Teryx Alphas. They live in Eris to the south.
Teryx.
They are vicious beasts, wild and strong. The Alphas, our quarry, are particularly fierce.
Wait till you find the Sigma Teryx.
We must act.
Oh, we're going, okay. They're... I don't know, maybe it's just they're so tall and they stand and they maintain being so like straight up and down, but their running animations weird me out a little bit. Like there's like a bounce to mine. Look at me go. I'm leaning forward and I've got like there's kind of like a bounce to the motion and so on. Something about the big tall characters, the colossi, look really odd when they're running. And I'm not quite sure what it is. They do have really... I am like definitely like... They do have long strides, but I think it might be that the long stride doesn't necessarily look like it.
And the citizens are awed. This act seems small to you, Beckoned, but it is enough to give my people hope. I thank you on their behalf, if nothing else.
You're welcome. Goodbye. Yep. I do wonder how well their stride matches up with their progress on the ground. There's always that question of like, does the walk cycle match, or do you look like you're sliding? And I wonder if that might be a little bit of it. Something about it, I see them running and I'm like, that doesn't look right for some reason. And I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe they were originally going to be way bigger, and so their stride, their relatively slow stride was supposed to be because their legs were just making it so far. But I'm not exactly being able to like replay it in a film mode to like get a close look at it. I just know that in my heart, when I see it, I'm like, what? In a way that I haven't had from, you know, the guy I've been watching run the entire game. Animations are not really on the list of things that I've taken issue with in this game for the most part, except for the very strange, probably THQ Nordic originating graphical glitches. Just surreal moments.
We are here. That is good. I feel hope stirring in my veins once more. It is the prospect of reconciliation that has granted me a second youth. Come. We must kill the alphas of each eyrie. With their veins in hand, we shall fulfill the gods' wishes.
Where do we find Teryx feathers?
The Teryx eyries lie in the wilds of the teeth of Naros, to the south of the city. We need not look far to find what we seek. But while there are many lesser Teryx here, we seek only the plumage of their strongest and brightest. These are the true challenge. We must act.
Let's go kill the rarest, most beautiful creature we can find. What is this, Monster Hunter? What's up? Ow. Ow. Fine, you get the button. You want it so bad? Here you go. Everybody's dead. The end. Oh no! It's really often a mouth thing, isn't it? Oh, geez. That's just a rough time. Am I supposed to take that? Probably.
Thus we begin. And as we harvest these trophies, you shall learn the journey the Colossi have taken to get here. Once we were but savages, no better than the other giant kin. We were called Myru, and to that identity we were chained until one day, Athene spoke to us. She spoke of a destiny and greatness that was not ours, but could be. She showed us the path of ascension, and we followed it here, to the teeth of Naros.
Your people are not from here?
No, we are far from the homeland of our ancestors. Undoubtedly the gods wished us to renounce our savage history. It was necessary. Though the Jotun and Etin once regarded us as kin, they grew jealous of us, of the strength we gained from the gods' favor. Tensions rose to war. It was a sign from Athene to my people to seek a new homeland, where the bounty of her wisdom could be harvested eternally. Very well, beckoned.
Bye. Alright. Run button. He's way louder than the other NPCs have been throughout the entire game. I wonder what's up with that. Like, suddenly the audio balance actually sounds like... Oh, are we done? Suddenly the audio sounds like what you might expect it to be when I have everything turned down except for the voices.
Yes, beckoned. What is it you need of me? Salvation awaits. We wandered the teeth of Naros in search of the homeland we were promised. And when hope seemed lost, we found the Hyperion. It was a divine artifact. No mortal hand could have crafted it, a massive stone, alone in the wilderness, with the image of a floating city engraved upon its surface. At the city's heart was the Hyperion itself. We knew then Athene was tasking us to craft this wondrous city, to form a covenant. But we betrayed that ideal.
The gods left you a sign?
To test our worthiness, the gods have strewn throughout Amalur riddles, puzzles, and challenges. Answering them demonstrates our greatness. The Hyperion is one such challenge. Perhaps the greatest of them. And though we discovered it years before, we still do not have the answer. Salvation awaits.
Salvation awaits. Craw. The music is so serene and calm for the fact that there's like a death fight happening. Oh, nope, they all have to die. Once again, that guy's just sitting there. Oh, more? From somewhere? I'm just gonna start attacking. I'll hit someone. I killed all of them without checking where they were. Just saw all those arrows disappear on the map.
In the end, the city rose, but the Hyperion did not follow. The heart of the city remained unmoved. That we could not abide. My predecessor, Arches, sought to force the Hyperion up, but the Hyperion rejected him, killing him and his followers, and sealed itself away. Our work here is concluded. Since you seem to favor the arts of magic, take these. I used them once. May they guide your meditations.
So what happens now? Or Hyperion.
It is a riddle carved of stone that the gods left for us. It shows a city of the clouds, with the Hyperion itself floating at its heart. It was a covenant the gods wished to form with us, to raise Idylla and the Hyperion with it. But the riddle is difficult, and we have no answer for it.
Is it time? Is the answer time? It's a clock. Because it's a clock. It's a clock. I got it. Cipher.
The cipher you carry is a conduit to the gods, to their wisdom, their judgment, and their power. You carry it. And thus, you are their intermediary. Since you will bear witness to the ritual of atonement, the gods will as well.
So what happens now?
I must make the gods see that my people can be redeemed for the faults of Arches. With the wreath in hand, I can conduct a ritual of atonement. As you bear the cipher, the conduit to the gods, you will bear witness. Come, we must conduct this ceremony at the site of our original transgression. Let us go to the Hyperion.
Will this ritual work?
If it will not, then why were you brought to me? To give pretense to salvation, to raise our hopes, only to crush them with failure? I know the gods of my forerunners. They would not flaunt the answer to their riddles without sharing it. Now come. The Hyperion awaits. We must act.
I don't know, man. I'm not prone to fate and whatnot. Maybe shouldn't be so confident that the gods brought me here. Here? Then here? I think this takes me to the little like dock that's diagonal next to the Hyperion. Yeah, okay. That's as fast as I'll get there. Otherwise I was gonna go to the camp on the left. This works out nicely. You like my rings? The red really pops. I've been picking up gear and I'm not even looking at it. Like I've gotten caster gear and like rings and stuff, and I haven't even opened my inventory in hours. It's like, oh, okay, it's fine. Or it's fine. Maybe one or two of them are upgrades.
You have come, good. We stand in a ground once hallowed beyond all things, now tainted by the excommunication of my people. Ever since that terrible day when arrogance and desperation brought about the disfavor of the gods, my followers have tended this place. Now come. We shall go to the antechamber of the Hyperion, the very spot where the sins of the Colossi were answered.
What's the antechamber?
The antechamber is the flawed design of Arcais. It was the means by which he sought to force the Hyperion to join the city. It was to do so using the spark of divine magic Athene placed into each of us, that these fragments combined would create a force equal to that of a god. Such power was never meant to be wielded by the unworthy. The energies struck back at Arcais, and the many assembled in his chamber, killing them.
The Hyperion antechamber.
It is where the former Primos, Arcais, bade the Hyperion to rise to join our city. Where the gods saw fit to condemn us for our hubris. It will be the altar of our forgiveness. We are so close.
Good luck. I don't know. Last expansion, I was more interested in like what was going on. I had more questions and was poking at things and was maybe frustrated by some of the answers,
Much was
but
ruined in that dark hour. The magics holding the paths together were unbound. Only the cipher can reorder such magics. Press ahead and set the path.
I'm gonna go past him? Okay. But yeah, so far I'm just getting lore dumped a lot. And I'm like, okay. It's a floating city, past sins. Alright. And it's not like grabbing me yet. I'm hoping something interesting happens. To some extent there's the fact that he's just got this like fixation on the idea that I must be his destiny, which is ironic given my character's relationship with destiny.
We are almost done, beckoned.
He might have this massive case of confirmation bias tied to the fact that he just desperately needs a savior to happen.
Was to celebrate the great triumph of my people. Though the city floats, it is nothing without the Hyperion at its heart. If you were curious, I could tell you more.
Walking around dialogue is always just so much
Again,
quieter.
find the way barred. I'm afraid I need your help once more.
He can't just hop down those little ledges? Do you have like knee problems, bro? Who made this way? Why is there a convenient side path every time and also a weird orb that makes a bridge, but only on one side? Like that must have a reason to exist, right? I don't think it's tied to me having a fate that I could just hop off a ledge. I'm not totally sure what they're going for with that. Just to add a little gameplay to an empty place.
We must finish this.
Sometimes people just kind of add interactions to a place because like, there's not enough combat here. It's gotta add something. Weird bridges? Alright, I thought he was waiting for me to talk to him because he stood there for a while. You can do it, buddy. Lead the way. But like, faster?
We are almost done, Beckoned. We have reached it. Beyond that stone is the Hyperion, the gift of the gods, the symbol of a covenant concluded. It rests out of reach, waiting for the day when the gods forgive our trespass, when they find us worthy again. Until now, I feared such a day would not come. We should begin. The gods visited this room once before. It seems only fit that you occupy their position. I will take my place where Arceus once stood.
How does the ritual work?
Long before, Arceus dared grasp the power of the gods and was judged according to his impudence. We act now as their analogues. In you, the gods visit this chamber once more. You shall stand where they appeared and made manifest their wrath. And I shall stand where Arceus stood and bore the brunt of their imminent will. The end of this awaits.
I thought he was gonna stop there. I guess I'm supposed to stop here, yeah. Yeah. For some reason, it was kind of funny watching him step in and then just walk right back out instead of going around.
Thank the gods! Praise be to them after all this time. I bear witness to their confirmation. You have done so well, Beckoned, to bring the cipher to me and to let me use its strength. With you, I can do what Arceus could not. Command the Hyperion.
What did you do to me?
This chamber harnesses the magic needed to control the Hyperion. But before you appeared with the cipher, no force was sufficient. I knew that when we first met, when I first sensed the cipher, that I could unseal the Hyperion and command its power. Why else would the gods furnish you, whom I needed most in my lowest hour?
You'll regret whatever you did.
I already do. You cannot know the agony of this decision. And I know that on this spot years before, the gods judged Idylla and its people unworthy. I will finally appease them. For I will use the energy of the Hyperion to destroy it. Once Idylla falls, I will forge from the ruins a people the gods approve of. I'm sorry. You must be a martyr to our cause, Beckoned. But it must be done.
People always love to talk about how much they're in pain over a choice that they don't actually suffer for. Oh, are they attack? Oh, we're fighting. Rude. Alright. Well, bad news, guys. One-shot kill, everybody. With the cipher broken by Anokatos' scheme, your fate powers seem to fluctuate wildly. Shit is going down, yo! Okay, this is where the story gets interesting. That's a pretty good reveal. Like, oh, blah, blah, boring lore. I care so much about my city. Nyeh. Oh, by the way, I'm trying to sacrifice you specifically because of your fate powers in order to revive my city. And I see it as destiny, which is ironic because it's not. But because I'm such a fanatic for these gods, I interpret anything that's convenient to me as being providence to justify my own cruelty. But then I'll tell you that I'm really torn up about my choice. Oh man, how could I do such a thing? It's like, wow, you're really torn up over getting everything you want and at no personal cost. Yeah, I totally believe that you're struggling in this time of need. And you're gonna be really sad to not see me again. Well, bad news, buddy, you're gonna see me again because I one-shot fucking everything and you made the mistake of locking me in a place that has a path where I can leave. Really should have thrown me in a hole somewhere. Really should have made a hole around the place that I was gonna get stuck in or something. You guys really shouldn't pray. Actually, maybe you should pray, given the context of your chances. But, if you're planning on fighting, you should probably fight me. Just like bare minimum, really. When I saw that cutscene, I thought that she was coming in to save me, the woman from earlier. Oh, there she is.
Beckoned. What has happened? Why are Anokatos' acolytes attacking us? What is he doing with the Hyperion?
Oh, they're attacking you too? Anokatos.
The Primos has lost his senses. If he thinks his actions will return the love of the gods, he's gone mad with grief.
Yeah, probably. Hyperion.
Curse the gods for leaving the thing here. Anokatos will use it to kill all of us.
Marauders.
They are colossi who succumb to the burden of this wilderness, letting it transform them into mindless brutes. They have the strength of our strongest, with none of the wisdom.
He means to destroy Idilla.
Destroy Idilla? No! That zealous fool! Have the loss of his gods driven him to such despair to use the Beckoned and the Cipher for such ends? We must make our way from this place. We cannot stop Anokatos from here. Take this talisman. The silent choir acolyte who bore it won't need it anymore. Now let's move.
Shouldn't we stop Anokatos?
How if we cannot reach him? And we can do nothing to stop him if his worshippers kill us here. We must make for the surface, and hope that there is time enough for us to deal with him. Be cautious in these lands.
Which way? This way, okay. You're pretty tall. Just like, you know, toss a dwarf. Just throw me at him, and then I'll do a lightning explosion. That'll work out. They've specifically tamed regular hounds. Kind of feel bad just killing packs of wolves here that are apparently tamed, but not with. They're not even being used as attack dogs with them. They're just kind of hanging out. Not the first time I've seen some group that's like, we're named after like singing, but also we don't talk. Get it? Alright, let's see if they can follow up with a pretty good betrayal.
Anokatos has sealed himself in with the Hyperion, and his silent choir will lay down their lives for him. I do not know what to do, Beckoned. I have defended my people from beasts and disasters, but nothing like this.
We've got to stop him.
Of course. I will not let Anokatos destroy my people because he believes the gods demand it. I know we have the strength we need inside of us, despite his claims. We are worth saving, even if the gods disagree. But Anokatos has sealed himself in the Hyperion antechamber. Without the cipher and knowledge of the Hyperion, we are lost.
Can we unseal it another way?
Anokatos was clever by exploiting your power. The cipher must be the key to unlocking the Hyperion, and he has broken it in his plan. But that is the one thing my people have been unable to do since we first came here. Only the Primos would know enough about the riddle for us to even try. Anokatos and his silent choir had a monastic retreat in the wilderness, Niskaru. If we need his knowledge, we best start our search there.
Where is Niskaru?
It is an old portion of the city that was never raised up. It was supposed to be a shrine of quiet contemplation. Now it is the refuge of Anokatos' silent choir. The complex rests where it was first carved, in the mountains of the Teeth. Be cautious in these lands.
I was briefly kind of worried that we were just going to go upstairs and fight him and then defeat him and then the DLC was over, just like that. It's like, ah, I betrayed you. Ah, you got me. Ah, it's over. Which still might happen eventually. But, yeah, it looks like we're going somewhere else. I'm also just hoping this part turns out to be interesting and not like a fetch quest that kind of just spins its wheels for a while until we, like, get the ability to go fight him. Like, hopefully there's story developments along the way that are worth it. Otherwise, you run the risk of it being like, he betrayed you and now it's time to fight him, but getting to that point is going to take about an hour or two. But, like, you know, nothing else in between that runs the risk of it just being like the story being on hold for a while without much texture, which this game has done before. But we'll see. That was a fun little betrayal he did. And now my cipher's broken, which means my fate powers are in fluctuation or something. I don't know what that means. If I use my fate power by pulling both triggers, maybe something weird will happen, or like it'll be less effective or something. Can I highlight this with my mouse? Let's see. Enter. Nope. Nope. You can't have a mouse on the screen. I was gonna try to highlight the glowing thing in the corner. Even if I highlighted it, it might just say the same thing I said before, which is that my fate powers are in fluctuation or something. Bro?
We cannot waste time. There does not appear to be much here, but we have to be thorough.
Niskaru.
Niskaru is one of the many portions of the city carved out, but never raised into the sky. Anokatos and his silent choir use it as a retreat.
Where should we look?
We should try near the shrine of Athene. Anokatos prizes her above all else. I would wager he keeps his secrets with her. Be cautious in these lands.
Be cautious in these lands. Alright, another similar-ish case. Ooh, look at that blue-orange contrast. Ha! Okay, surprise me for a sec. Ow! Stop! Everyone explode. There we go. See? See how easier things go the moment everyone listens to me? Well, they go for me. How much easier they go for me? About that. Okay, there's the ramp. I'm like, there's a way down, right? Right? The map. Okay, now I can see the difference in brightness between the two pieces. For a moment there, I thought the two things were like, the two cliffs were like just attached, so I thought I could just walk over there. Then I was looking for a spot to jump down. Once you walk around a bit, you can see the two different chunks change brightness with their floors. Wolves are so rude with their ability to catch up with me. Hey, it's you.
Beckoned, not time. Seek Primus below.
Oh, wait, we are going to the Primus? Huh. Interesting. I thought there was going to be a sort of side thing where we potentially have to figure out how to reach him.
I, Anokatos, make this record in penance for my disappointment of the supreme goddess Athene, in hopes that I may return to her favor.
Hold a moment.
Well.
These are bodies of colossi. What are they doing here? Wait, I recognize some faces. Belfron, Armandia, these were great colossi, all viable competitors for the role of Primos, at one time or another. I do not like the implications of this. What has Anokatos wrought? Farewell.
Farewell. Alright. Alright, this way. They really do just expect you to stand completely fucking still whenever you get an audio log, which is a fundamental misunderstanding of what audio logs are for. Like, the whole point of it being in BioShock, which it was in other games first, including System Shock, I think, but it really got popularized by BioShock heavily. The whole point was you could continue playing the game while the lore happened at you. That's why audio logs are popularized. You should always make your audio logs, especially if they're location-based like those ones, and they activate at a location. You should plan on the player moving forward while it's playing. Like, that's just a fundamental misunderstanding of player behavior and why audio logs exist and so on. They keep making that mistake.
You are too late! The council already lies dying in the torture chambers, and the Jotun slaves will soon be butchered as the master ordered. Come, brothers and sisters, let us deal with these curs.
I'm the good guy, you can tell because I said I was going to butcher slaves. There's a few subtle hints about what team I might be on.
I found these during the fight. I do not know what they once bound, but they might be of use to you. Now, we must decipher what that cultist said. But there are also the slaves.
During the fight?
They will be killed if we don't save them. But if the council is dying, we must choose who we see to first. The council must be important. Something that could help us find a flaw in his plan, perhaps, or learn more about the cipher in the Hyperion.
You get the council, I'll get the slaves. Council?
I do not know what the council is, but I have had enough surprises today. I only hope that we can find it of use.
It's definitely funny to me that she said that she found it during the fight when the fight was me casting one spell. Jotun slaves.
I can only imagine what labors Anokatos had them perform. Could this have been the cause for Garank's war?
Ooh, texture. You wanted to kill all of them, but maybe they were all literally being... The whole thing was motivated by your team's bullshit. Niskaru.
I know what this place is now. These travesties, these heresies, these are what Anokatos truly is.
And also Nyx is the goddess of darkness or something? Can't we help both?
I do not believe so. The council is dying if Anokatos' dogs are to be believed, and the slaves are to be executed. I am unsure who we should be trying to help, but you are the beckoned of Athene. I must defer this choice to you. So decide. Do we go to the slave pens and help the slaves? Or do we go to the torture chambers to try to find Anokatos' council before it dies?
I guess it's a physical choice I make with the map.
Cautious in these lands.
Ba-doop-ba-doop. Da-doop-doop-boop. Da-doop-doop. Da-doop-doop-boop. Increases the amount of gold found when you explore. Sure. It's gonna take a while to get to, what, 70? Really funny to me that I can't get here without scrolling to these other ones. Yeah, 70 is gonna take a bit. I don't really want more spells that badly, so I guess I'll just put points into my melee that I also don't use that much. Oh well. So it go. Alright. Which one's the slaves? Choose who to save. Why don't the waypoints say which one is which? I don't know which one is which. Shit. Did you say which direction the slave pens were in? I guess I'll just save. Choose when to save, more like. Yeah, I'm saving the slaves, obviously. Slave pens, there you go. The prompt says it. There we go. Because I don't need an advantage, I'll just fucking kill him. It's fine. I don't need to know his weaknesses. I ignored the weakness of the other guy, and I won anyway. It was easy. I wanted to say, you go save the torturee, and I'll go save the slaves. And, I don't know, we'll just gamble on whether you succeed or not. go risk your life for the council as you want to do, and I'll go save the slaves and make sure that that definitely happens. And maybe we will win both. Is these just release all the slaves, I think? Go, boys, go! Oh, they're under attack. Boop. They're on our team because we saved their lives. Isn't that neat? All of my choices are coming together. Maybe they'll help us. Maybe if we got to the council, the weakness would be like he would have explained like, oh, the weakness is to have a bunch of Jotun on your team. And you're like, damn, that one thing where people give gifts to each other, but their gifts contradict each other. It's like, you got me the hairbrush I always wanted. I sold my hair to get you this stupid car, or whatever the fuck. I don't remember. I literally thought Sphinx, and then I thought Kafka-esque, and neither of those are close. Neither of those are even close to the right thing. But it's a specific thing where you get two people give each other gifts or something, but they had to do a there's a corpse over there, and there's a bunch of people dying. I didn't get to them fast enough. I guess it was a mistake to press every lever at once, because I should have run to each one after I opened the door. I think they're okay. Okay. Just lost the one guy. But yeah, it's like the two people give each other gifts, but the act of getting the gift in the first place required a sacrifice, and the sacrifice was the thing that was relevant to the gift the other person's giving them. But like everybody cared enough to try, and isn't that nice? I went the wrong way. Apparently, you will talk to me. Rude. Fine. Ba-bow, bow, ba-bow. Oop. Eh. Tiny little bit of experience. Now let's run back down this really long hallway again. Guys, come with me. We must defeat the dick that put you here. Follow the small man with the red circle on his back. Don't throw anything at the red circle. It's not a target. Also, she gave me a new weapon. I guess I should look into that. Titan's Cuff. Well, this has 171 damage. This one has 93 and 112, so... 10% damage versus Colossi? Yeah, this is the one that she gave me. My current weapon does double the damage, but I also already had a second weapon with even more damage, which ironically is from the previous expansion. You think that the new expansion would give more damage than the previous expansion? Hey, it's one of these guys. Let's see if we can get it cut off or not.
I'm afraid we have dishonored my master, Arcais. He is a pious man who has always sought to serve, and we use the power of his position to force us on the true path without his knowledge. Slavery, oppression, pain, all are used to mold them into what is deemed worthy.
I'll never get over the people that just don't notice fights are happening when their job is to be in a fight. Like, some of these people are running to fight me, and they're just sitting there ignoring me anyway. Yeah, not gonna lie, there was a lot of guys here. You probably couldn't have taken them all. We've got to reach the council before it's too late.
You. I am past the point of much, but I can feel the warmth of Athene in you, strange one. Has my time come at last? I cannot see. I cannot see. I know the beckon comes, but I cannot even look upon you.
I've come to rescue you.
I am beyond rescue. Anokatos kept me alive, And though I wished for death many times, I knew I had to live. Ithene commanded it, for I spoke with her the day the gods struck us down for our folly. The day Anokatos hid my broken body and told the world I died. But I leave you not without a guide. Tell Sikandra she must remember her last day. She must.
Arcades. I had always... He had died. He had died years ago when the gods rebuked him and our people. It was truth. Anokatos had him alive and tortured. I watched him die years before. All that was left of him was a circlet. A circlet.
Arcades mentioned the last day.
Our last day. The day... Could it mean the last day that I saw him? The last day we spoke? Before the Hyperion tragedy? He asked me to escort him through the wilds, to the shrines outside the city, the shrines of earth and air. He told me to remember them when times seem bleak. I thought nothing of it, but could he have known about this? About now?
Are you all right?
I once thought that faith was what would ruin my people, the thing that would distract them from their happiness. But I see now, it is apathy. To not care for our people, that is Anokatos' sin. As I thought it was our cases before him. But this is so much larger. Larger than I ever thought. An Arcase. He always knew that I would be here. He must have always known.
What do we do now?
The task is clear. We need to... Ah! My head... Can you feel it? Something is wrong. This magic... Anokatos has done something. We must return to the city. We might be too late.
What happened?
Something grave has happened. I can feel it in my body. I fear Anokatos may have accomplished his goal.
Maybe it's because we sit here talking for so long each time.
Be cautious in these lands.
So he was alive all along, and I guess he died ultimately because we didn't save him here.
In this confession I shall tell of how my master was brought nearly to his death. Arcase failed Athene in our mission to bring her servants to a devout state that would be worthy of her power and wisdom. At my behest, he sought the Hyperion force to the sky to earn our recognition. The ensuing eruption of Athene's wrath killed many and nearly took dear Arcase.
He almost sounds like Surian McKellen. That's throwing me for a loop.